Welcome to Soul Lantern. Take a deep breath. Let your mind settle. Today, we open our hearts to the timeless wisdom of the Buddha. Listen closely, reflect deeply, and allow your inner light to awaken. Part 2. With Mucalinda spiritual and worldly happiness. The second chapter picks up the narrative thread, and we find ourselves back in Udāna point 1. We have established the goal of Buddhism: freedom from worldly attachments, but may be left with the feeling that this is a cold and distant state. Admirable, perhaps, but not all that enticing. The Buddha was well aware that his teaching could be intimidating, even terrifying. So, just as an ad for a meditation retreat would show a smiling meditator, he made sure to emphasize that his is a path of happiness. Happiness is already introduced in the first chapter, as the Buddha's meditation is said to be the bliss of freedom. That one idea becomes the seed for the second chapter. It opens with an awe-inspiring event. As the Buddha meditates on the bliss of freedom, a great unseasonal rainstorm blows for 7 days. As it happens, while I write this on the east coast of Australia, we are also experiencing a great and unseasonal period of rain, with floods threatening people's lives and homes. We shelter in our comfortable homes and protect ourselves with umbrellas and coats, if we venture out even for a few minutes in the rain. Yet the Buddha sat for a whole week of storm and thunder, undisturbed in his meditation. He may not have had an umbrella, but something even better appeared: the spread hood of the giant dragon king Mucalinda. Encircling him 7 times, the dragon kept him safe. This episode evokes a deep range of mythical and symbolic connotations. A sacred serpent of astonishing power rises from the earth and coils 7 times around the person as it grows towards transcendence. One of the aims is to show the proper harmonious relationship between the Buddha and the pre-Buddhist religious practices of worshipping the spirits of nature. The Udāna with which the episode ends is at once distantly related to the events of the narrative, yet curiously appropriate. Inspired by the experience of the bliss of freedom, the Buddha gives a memorable teaching on the nature of happiness. What is significant about it is that it brings happiness back to ordinary things, simplicity and kindness, showing that these more relatable forms of happiness are what grow into the Buddha's unfathomable bliss. The narrative frame is once more left behind as the next sutta picks up the idea of spiritual bliss as greater than that of the world. The bliss of awakening outweighs that even of King's Udāna point 2, Udāna point 10, while the cruelty of boys highlights the desire for happiness among all creatures up to point 3. The search for lower happiness corrupts ascetics. Udāna point 4 prevents people from fully committing to the Dhamma. Udāna point 5 leads inevitably to grief. Udāna point 7 and subjects one to unwanted authority. Udāna point 9. The chapter further explores the relationship of male ascetics with women and children. In one discourse, a non-Buddhist wanderer, presumably of a non-celibate order, has to find oil to ease his pregnant wife's difficult delivery Udāna. 6. He can only find it at a distribution center of the king. But their oil is only given to be consumed on the spot, not to be taken away. An early commentary, perhaps, on the dire effect of bureaucratic rigidity on social welfare programs. Desperate, he consumes too much oil and is stricken with illness, unable to help himself, much less his wife. This tragic story gets its counterpart in the next discourse, where the proper way for mendicants to support women and children is shown. Udāna. 8. Suppavāsā was suffering an extended and painful pregnancy and labor. The thought of the Buddha helped her endure, and when he learned of her travails, he gave her his blessing. That was enough for her to finally give birth to a healthy child. When she had recovered, she invited the Buddha with the Sangha for a meal, and they made special arrangements so that this could happen. Suppavāsā was overjoyed to serve the Sangha and see her son with the monks, especially when Venerable Sariputta spoke with him and gave his blessings. This discourse heightens the drama with the miraculous detail of Suppavāsā's 7-year pregnancy, but the message is a practical one. A mendicant is not a breadwinner or a doctor. They have chosen a different path, but that doesn't mean they don't care. Their role is to offer spiritual and emotional support, and sometimes this is exactly what is needed. Thank you for joining us in exploring the timeless wisdom of the Udāna. If you found peace or inspiration today, please like and subscribe to Soul Lantern and awaken with us in the next chapter. Until then, stay mindful and be well.